Okay, this video will be all about voting rights. So we're going to start with problem 6. We've given you a table to show you what we did in class, that the number of voters in each district are here, and this is who came in first, second, third, fourth, first, second, third, fourth. There are only 4 this time. We did 5 before. Okay, so this is all the data that we're going to need to answer the questions. Okay, the preference table shows the results of an election. Did any candidate have a majority? Okay, well, the first thing I have to do is find out how many there are. That's 43, 64, 70, 87. So there are a total of 87 voters. So a majority, I'm going to take 87 divided by 2, which gives me 43.5. That's 50%. So 51%, I'll have to round that up to 44. So let's see if any of them got 44 first place. 30, 12, 21, whoops, and A got 6, so 36 and 17. So none of them got a majority. So they're going to have to go to some kind of runoff. Okay, so that's what this next page is all about, and this is, again, how the worksheet will appear on your test, so hopefully you know what to do with this. Okay, the plurality winner, that is just which candidate got the most first place votes. Okay, so if I have A, B, C, and D, I hope I keep the colors straight, probably won't. Okay, A came in first here, so A gets all of these 30 votes. B came in first here, so B gets 17 votes. C came in first here, so C gets 13 votes. D came in first here, so D gets 21 votes. And A came in here, so A gets 6 votes. Okay, so the winner by plurality is clearly A. A got a total of 36. Okay, the single runoff winner, that means we take the 2 with the highest votes. So A got 36, D got 21. So we're going to compare A and we're going to compare D as though they were the only 2 in the race. Okay, so the 30 votes here, A got those. Here, if the only ones are A and D, D got the 13 votes here. D got the 21 votes here. A came in front of D here, so A got the 6. And D came above A here, so D gets the 17. So that's 40, so that's 61. And this is 36. So in the single runoff, D got the most votes. Okay, for the sequential runoff, we look at the plurality table and we cross off whoever got the least number of votes, A, B, and C, and D. 36, 17, 13, 21, so we cross off C. So now the race is between A, B, and D. And D. Okay. So I just go back to the table and look and see. Okay, so A got 30 from the first column. From the second column, C is not there. B comes in next, so B gets those 13 votes. D came in first here, so D gets the 21. A came in first here, so A gets the 6. And here B got the 17. Okay, so this is 36. Excuse me, this is 30. And this is 21. So now D is out of the running. So now we're just going to compare A and B. Now, just to show you that there's maybe a little bit different way to do this, you can look at this and just go through and see, well, we know A won this one. Between A and B, A got this one, and B got this one. Okay, so that means that B got the votes from the second column because B came in ahead of A, so that's 13. Here, B came in front of A, so B gets the 21 votes here. A got these 6 and B got the 17. So clearly, at this point, you can tell that B won this one. Okay, so the board account is each place is awarded a number of points. So it tells us here that first place is 4 points, second place is 3 points, third place is 2, fourth place is 1. So what we do is for each of these 5 districts, we know that the 30 votes from column A plus the 13 votes from column B plus the 21 votes from column C plus the 6 votes from column D plus the 17 votes from the last column. Now, I'm sorry, you can't see that. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and write this down because you can do it in one of 2 ways and it doesn't matter. So you're going to have to figure out which one works best for you. So, plus 6 plus 17. I should have done this ahead of time to save you some time, but I didn't. Okay, so now I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at who got what from the chart. So this will be candidate A, candidate B, candidate C, and finally candidate D. Now what you can do is you can just go down the column. The 4 points for first place for this column go to A. The 3 points for second place go to C. The 2 points for third place go to B. And D came in last, so D only gets 1 point. So you can do it by column or you can do it by row. So now I can just look at A. Well, where did A come in each column? Well, A came in first in column 1, came in last, fourth in column 2, so gets 1 point, came in third in this column, so gets 2 points for every vote, came in first in this column, so gets 4 points for every vote, and came in fourth place here, so gets 1. And you multiply those up and you end up with 216. Okay. All right, for B, B came in third here, so got the 2 points. Came in second here, so gets 3 points for each of the 13 votes. Came in fourth place here, so gets 1 point. Came in third place here, so gets 2 points. Came in first here, so gets 4 points. And when you multiply all that out, you get 236. Okay, in the first column, C gets 3 points for second place. In the second column, came in first, so gets 4 points for each of those votes. Gets 1 point for each of the 21 votes in this. Gets 2 points for this column, and gets 2 points for this column. And when you multiply all that out, you end up with 209. Then D came in fourth here, so gets 1 point. Came in third here, so gets 2 points. Comes in second here, gets 3 points. Came in, oops, that's D. I'm sorry, so D won this one, so for the 21 votes, which I forgot to write the 1, he gets 4 points, or she. Here, D came in second, so gets 3 points, and D came in second, so gets 3 points. And when you add that up, you get 209. So our winner is B. Okay, well now we're just going to compare and pretend that there's nobody in the race except these two. Okay, so we're going to compare each one against the other as though they were the only ones in the race. Okay, so I'm folding up my thing here. Okay, so this is pairwise comparisons. So we're going to compare A to B, A to C, and A to D. Okay, so A comes in front of D here, or in front of B, so A gets the 30 points. B comes before A, so B gets the 13 points. Here, B comes before A, so B gets the 21. Here, A gets the 6, because A came in ahead of B. And finally, in the last one, B gets the 17. Well, clearly, you don't even need to add them up, but B is the winner for this one. Okay. Now, I'm just going to compare A to C. Okay. A gets the 30 here. C gets the 13 here. A gets the 21 here. A gets the 6 here. And C gets the 17 here. Okay, so once again, you can tell that A is the winner. Then I'm going to compare A to D. A is always going to get the 30. Here, D comes in front of A, so D is going to get the 13. D won this one, so D gets the 21. A won this one, so A gets the 6. And D comes in front of A here, so D gets the 17. So once again, it's very clear that D won. Okay, so how many did A win? A wins 1. Okay, so now we're going to do it again. We're going to now compare B. So we've got to compare B to A, B to C, and B to D. Well, B to A we've already done. So it is B from A versus B. But now let's just compare B and C. So the only ones we're going to look at are B and C. Okay, so C gets the 30 points here. C gets the 13 points here. B gets the 21 points here. C gets the 6 points here. And B gets the 17 here. So let's see, that is 39, and that is clearly more than 39, so C wins this one. Okay, so now we're going to compare B to D. Okay, in the first column, B came in ahead of D, so B gets these 30 voters. Here, B comes in front of D, so it gets the 13 voters. Here, D came in first, so D gets 21. Here, D came in front of C, so gets the 6. And here, D comes in front, B comes in first here, So D gets the 17. So clearly B wins. So B wins 2. Okay, now we're going to do C versus A, C versus B, and C versus D. Okay, well, in C versus A won from A versus C. When we had C versus B, C won from B versus C. So the only new information we have to do is C versus D. Okay, so then the first column, C comes in above D, so C gets 30. C won the second one, so C gets the 13. D gets the 21 here. D gets the 6 here. And D gets the 17 here. So D, I'm sorry, we're looking at C. So C wins 1. Whoops. Okay, so these are all done now. We're doing D versus A, D versus C, and D versus B. But we've already done all those. So D versus A, D won. D versus B, whoops, and I did it in the wrong order. B won. And D versus C, C won. Oh, I'm sorry, D won. I'm looking at the wrong one. Okay. So D wins 2. So now we've just figured out who won the most. Okay, well, the one that won the most, there is a tie. Between B and D. B wins 2, D wins 2, so there is a tie between them. Okay, so A won here, B won here, D won here, B won here, and there's a tie between B and D here. Okay, so if I wanted to just know if there's a clear winner from the plurality, is A. The single runoff is B. The Borda count is B, and I skipped the sequential runoff. Sequential runoff is B. Wait a minute, the single runoff is D. Boy, am I... The Borda count is B. The sequential runoff is B. And then the pairwise is a tie with B and D. So B won 2.5 times. So that's going to be a judgment call. I would say yes, it's B. Okay. All right. So a measure is up for approval by a city council. The measure needs a 2/3 majority to pass. If 5 of 7 members of the council vote for the measure, will it become law? Okay. All right. Well, we need a 2/3 majority. Which, if I do the division, is 0.6 repeating. So it has to be more than that. It would have to be 0.06 something. Okay. All right. Well, they have 5 out of 7, and when I do that, that comes up as 0.71, which is greater than 2/3. So will it become law? Yes. And that's your explanation. It's greater, the number of votes is more than 2/3, so yes. Okay, in the 2020 election, Democrats received 46.5% of the statewide vote. There were 36 House seats, and 13 of those seats were held by Democrats. Were the Democrats overrepresented, underrepresented, or fairly represented? Okay, well, if the Democrats had 13 of the 36, 13 divided by 36 and turning it into a percent times 100 gives us 36.1% of representatives for 46.5% of the population. So the Democrats were underrepresented. Okay, so let's see. We have a state that has 30 voters. Half are Republican and half are Democrats, and it's divided into 5 districts. Okay, they're kind of weird looking, but they are. Okay, do they meet the requirements? Well, they have to be evenly distributed. The first condition is evenly distributed. They are. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in each, which means you need 30 divided by 5, which is 6 per district. Okay. The second one is it must be contiguous. And yes, all the districts are contiguous. They're all in one piece. They can't be in 2 pieces. Okay, so the answer is yes. All right, so now we just need to find out how many were won by Democrats and how many were won by Republicans. So here, out of the 6, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Democrats. So this one went Democrat. Here there are 1, 2, 3, 4 Republicans. So this one went Republican. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 Republicans. So this went Republican. And here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 Democrats. So this is Democrat. And then I forgot that one right in the middle. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one went Republican. Okay, so 2 districts were won by Democrats. 3 were run by Republicans. 0 were ties. And who would you expect to win? Because of the 3, the Republicans. Okay. All right, now it asks us in the blank map, draw a different set of boundaries where at least one district is a tie. Okay, so that means 3 Republicans and 3 Democrats. All right, well, I see one right here. So I've met the challenge, and now I can divide them up any way I want. So let's do this one, and this one, and I can just do this one and this one. Okay. If you want to get fancy and play with it, that's fine. Okay, how many districts are won by Democrats? All right, so 1, 2, 3. All right, well, let's just say that this is a tie. 3 and 3 is a tie. 3 and 3 is a tie. 3 and 3 is a tie. And 3 and 3 is a tie. Okay, well, I didn't do a very good job on that. So how many were run by Democrats? None. How many were run by Republicans? None. How many were ties? 5. So, if voters voted along party line, who would you expect to win? Nobody. Okay, so that's the end of part 2 of the review on voting rights. And so I hope these are helpful. And we will see you on Tuesday.